Hello viewers, so welcome to my channel. I'm Hasham. Last video I have explained you in detail regarding the meaning of the term perquisite and what are the different types of perquisites. Perquisites are classified as those perquisites which are taxable in the hands of all employees, those perquisites which are taxable only in specified cases, some special perquisites are there, and perquisites which are completely tax free. All these things I have explained. Apart from that, rent-free accommodation. The first very important perquisite is rent-free accommodation. When a house or flat is given by the employer to the employee for residential purpose without charging any rent, it is called rent-free accommodation. Then rent-free accommodation may be unfurnished or furnished. Unfurnished means without any furniture. Furnished means along with furniture, accommodation is given. Furniture includes the television, the refrigerator, air conditioner or other household appliances. So first of all, we have to treat the house as unfurnished house. Then to that add 10% of cost of furniture or actual hire charges paid by the employer. So all these things I have explained in the last video. So before coming to this video on problems on rent-free accommodation, I suggest you to go to the previous video, watch the previous video completely, be acquainted with the meaning of the term perquisites and how to calculate the value of the perquisite. Go to the playlist of my channel, select the subject income tax for the assessment year 21-22, select the video of perquisites theory explained, then you come to this video. So before watching the problems on perquisites, I expect my viewers to have a printout of the problems which I have given in the link under my description. Always keep ready the problems. Take a screenshot of the solutions of the few problems. Then I'll explain all the points. Come on, see the very first problem. Problems on perquisites. First one. Mr. Jayaram is working in Accountant General Office in Chennai. AG office it is called. An AG office is a government department. That means Mr. Jayaram is a government employee because he is working in AG office, Accountant General Office in Chennai. His salary particulars are as follows. Basic pay 25,000 per month. DA 2,800 per month. Servant allowance 300 per month. He is provided with rent-free accommodation in Chennai. The rent of the accommodation as per government rule is 10,000 per month. He is also provided with television set and refrigerator that is hired for rupees 2,000 per month. Compute the value of rent-free accommodation. So before calculating the value of rent-free accommodation, we have to see whether the SSC is a government employee or non-government. Here he is a government employee. For government employee, rent fixed by the government is the value of the perquisite. That's all. So how much is the rent fixed by the government? It is 10,000 per month over. This 10,000 per month into 12. 10,000 per month into 12. 1,20,000 is the value of unfurnished accommodation. To this value we add the hire charges or cost of furniture. Here it is higher one. He is also provided with television set and refrigerator. This comes under furniture. That is hired. And hire charges are 2,000 per month. So 2,000 per month into 12. 24,000 are the hire charges. So the solution of this problem is like this. The SSC is a government employee. So the rent fixed by the government is the value of the perquisite. So simple. No need to calculate salary, nothing. Then value of rent-free unfurnished accommodation. So what is the rent fixed by the government? 10,000 per month given in the problem. So 10,000 into 12, 1,20,000 plus hire charges of the furniture. It is given in the problem last line 2,000 rupees per month. So 2,000 into 12, 24,000. Add up both 1,44,000 is the value of rent-free, furnished accommodation. It is furnished accommodation. One problem completed. So not much complications are there if the SSC is a government employee. the calculations will be required only if the SSC is a non-government employee. The first problem, government employee. Second problem, Mr. Naresh is working in income tax department. Income tax department is a government department. So Mr. Naresh again is a government employee, just like the previous problem. And his salary particulars are as follows: basic pay 15,000 per month, DA 2,500 per month, CCA 3,500 per month, children education allowance for his 2 children 3,000 per annum. He is provided rent-free accommodation in an apartment which is hired by the department for 3,000 per month, while the license fee fixed by the government is 2,700 per month. For government employees, we need rent fixed by the government. We don't require the hard charges paid by the department, etc. Once we have decided that the SSC is a government employee, the rent fixed by the government we should take. Other data completely ignore. Like here he is provided accommodation in an apartment which is hired one. Ignore all these things. The furniture was provided to him which is valued 50,000. And a refrigerator was provided for 3 months which is valued 60,000 during the previous year. That means this 50,000 furniture was provided for the whole year. And the furniture is owned by the SSC. Owned by the employer, sorry. The furniture is owned by the employer. So we calculate 10% of the cost of furniture. So 10% of 50,000. Because this 50,000 furniture was provided for the whole year. The 60,000 rupees furniture was provided only for 3 months. So 10% of 60,000 into 3 by 12. Because it is provided only for 3 months. Compute the value of rent-free accommodation. Again, it's a furnished accommodation. Before calculating furnished accommodation, we have to calculate the value of unfurnished accommodation. Rent fixed by the government. Here, Mr. Naresh. The SSC is a government employee, so rent fixed by the government is the value of the perquisite. And the rent fixed by the government is 2,700 per month given in the problem. We will not consider all other data. We need only the rent fixed by the government. Value of rent-free unfurnished accommodation. 2,700 into 12, 32,400. To this we add cost of furniture provided. 10% of the cost of furniture provided. 50,000 worth of furniture was provided for the whole year. For the whole year. So 10% of 50,000 comes to 5,000. 60,000 worth of furniture was provided only for 3 months. So 10% of 60,000 into 3 by 12, you'll get 1,500. So total is 6,500. Add up 38,900. This is the value of rent-free furnished accommodation. That's all. This is the end of second problem. Now see the problem number 3. Mr. Kailash is working in Indian Railways at Bangalore. Again, Indian Railways is a government corporation. So the SSC Mr. Kailash is a government employee. Rent fixed by the government is the value of the perquisite. His salary particulars are as follows: basic pay, DA, children education allowance for 3 children, entertainment allowance. Remember, all these things are not required for calculating government employee rent-free accommodation. All these things are required for non-government. So here he is provided with rent-free accommodation with a municipal rental value 4,800. We don't require. Government rental value 6,000 per month. We require this one. Government rental value is the rent fixed by the government. And the fair rental value, we don't require fair rental value. Compute the value of rent-free accommodation. Here nothing is given regarding furniture. So the accommodation is unfurnished accommodation. Only unfurnished. Previous 2 problems we have seen furnished. Here this is a problem unfurnished. First of all, the SSC Mr. Kailash is a government employee. So the rent fixed by the government is the value of the rent-free unfurnished accommodation. That's all. We don't require any other information. Now, Mr. Kailash, the SSC is a government employee, so rent fixed by the government is the value of the perquisite, that is 6,000 per month. The value of rent-free unfurnished accommodation, 6,000 into 12, 72,000 over. No furniture is given. So house is unfurnished. Over. Third problem completed. See the fourth one. Srimati Vasavi is working in a limited company in a Kerala state as an assistant manager. First point is clear. The SSC is a non-government employee. Non-government employee. For non-government employee, two situations are there. Accommodation owned by the employer and second, accommodation not owned by the employer, hired by the employer. If the accommodation is owned by the employer, we have to see the population of the state, of the area, of the town. If it's a small town, 7.5% of salary. If it's a medium town, 10% of salary. If it's a big town, 15% of salary. How we can know small town, medium town, big town? If the population of the area is below 10 lakh, it's a small. If the population is more than 10 lakh but below 25 lakh, medium town. If the population is more than 25 lakh, it's a big town, 15% of salary. That's it. If the accommodation is hired by the employer, then least of the following two. Actual hire charges paid by the employer or 15% of salary. That's all. So these are the provisions we have to apply for non-government employee. So here fourth problem. Srimati Vasavi is a non-government employee. Her salary particulars are basic pay 8,000 per month, DA 25% which enters into retirement benefit, bonus 21,000. She is provided with rent-free accommodation which is owned. She is provided with rent-free accommodation which is owned by the employer. Then the population of the town is 12 lakh. 12 lakh means more than 10 lakh but below 25 lakh. So it's a medium town, medium-sized town. In medium-sized town, the population is more than 10 lakh but below 25 lakh and the value of the perquisite is 10% of salary. It is 10% of salary. So we have decided in our problem, the value of the perquisite is 10% of salary. And with the fair rental value 3,000 per month, we don't require. For the first 3 months only, she was provided with a television set and a refrigerator and a geyser, which was hired for 600 per month. The first 3 months, furniture provided, which was hired. So 600 into 3, 1,800 rupees are the hire charges. And later she was provided with furniture at a cost of 1,20,000. So after 3 months, own furniture is provided by the employer. So 10% of 1,20,000 into 9 by 12. Because this 1,20,000 furniture provided not for the whole year, but only for 9 months. Compute the value of rent-free accommodation. So this is the problem where the accommodation, the employee is non-government employee and the accommodation is owned by the employer. Owned by the employer. Srimati Vasavi. The SSC is a non-government employee. The accommodation is owned by the employer and provided in a town where population is 12 lakh. 12 lakh means more than 10 lakh but less than 25 lakh. So the value of the perquisite is 10% of salary, just now I told you. For small town, 7.5% of salary. For medium town, 10% of salary. For big town, 15% of salary. That's it. So here it's a medium town, 10% of salary. Salary means, here in our, actually the meaning of salary is a lengthy wording. Already I told you in the previous video. Salary means basic plus bonus plus fees plus commission. Plus all taxable allowances except DA. DA will be included if it enters for retirement benefit. Plus all monetary amounts paid by the employer or reimbursed by the employer. Plus income tax or profession tax paid or reimbursed by the employer. This is the complete explanation of salary given by Income Tax Act. You have to remember that. Already I have stressed to you this point in the last video. Now here in our problem, what are the items given? Salary. Salary is 8,000 per month. This will take 8,000 per month into 12. It comes to 96,000. After salary, what is the next item? DA, 25% which enters for retirement benefit. If DA enters for retirement benefit, then only we should take. If only DA is given, we should not take. Here it is given DA entering for retirement benefit, 25% of salary. So 25% of 96,000, it comes to 24,000. Next comes, after that DA, then bonus. Bonus is given 21,000. That should also be taken under salary. So bonus 21,000. So salary is equal to basic plus DA enters plus bonus. So salary 96,000, bonus DA 24,000 and bonus 21,000. Salary is 1,41,000. The value of rent-free unfurnished accommodation is 10% of 1,41,000, 14,100. To this we add hire charges of furniture provided. For first 3 months, furniture provided which is hired one, hire charges are 600 per month. So 600 into 3, 1800. Remaining 9 months, furniture provided which is owned by the employer, 1,20,000. So 10% of 1,20,000 into 9 by 12. For 9 months, it comes to 9,000. So total 9,000 plus 1,800, 10,800. Add up, value of rent-free furnished accommodation is 24,900. That's all. This is the end of problem number 4. Now problem number 5. Mr. Rajan is working in a private company in a small town in Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh. First of all, the SSC is a non-government employee and he is working in a small town. Small town means the population is less than 10 lakh. Less than 10 lakh. His salary particulars are as follows. Basic pay 5,000 per month, DA 3,200 per month, project allowance 600 per month, medical allowance 500 per month, uniform allowance 300 per month, and he spent 2,000 for his uniform. He is provided with rent-free accommodation owned by the employer. And the rental value of the similar accommodation 600 per month, ignore. When it is given the accommodation is owned by the employer, then we have to see the population. The small town. Small town means 7.5% of salary is the value of rent-free accommodation. Rent-free unfurnished accommodation. 7.5% of salary because it's a small town. Population less than 10 lakh. Salary. Now what are the items we should include in salary? Now I'll explain. The SSC is a non-government employee. The accommodation is owned by the employer and provided in a small town. So the value of the perquisite is 7.5% of salary. So salary includes what? Basic. Basic is given 5,000 per month. So 5,000 per month into 12, 60,000. Then next comes DA. Nothing is given DA entering for retirement benefit or not entering. So we should not take. Specifically DA will be included if it enters for retirement benefit. If it is not given this sentence, don't include DA. Now DA we should not take. Then project allowance is fully included, fully taxable. Project allowance is fully taxable. We should take. The project allowance 600 per month into 12. Medical allowance fully taxable. We should take 500 per month into 12, 6,000. Uniform allowance unspent amount is taxable. Uniform allowance is 300 per month. 300 per month into 12, 3,600. Out of 3,600, 2,000 rupees he has spent on uniform. So 3,600 minus 2,000 is 1,600 taxable. So uniform allowance unspent, 3,600 minus 2,000, 1,600 taxable. Take the total 74,800. Salary is 74,800. 7.5% of salary. Value of rent-free unfurnished accommodation 7.5% of 74,800, 5,610. To this we add 10% of cost of furniture provided. The cost of furniture provided is 8,000. So 10% of 8,000 is 800. Take the total 6,410. This is the value of rent-free furnished accommodation. So two problems we have seen where the employee is a non-government employee. Now, sixth problem. Problem number 6. Mr. Kiran is working with Amara Raja Batteries Limited. Again, non-government employee. He is posted in Rajahmundry. Population is 3.75 lakh. The area of that Rajahmundry was 3.75 lakh. It is less than 10 lakh. So it's a small town. It's a small town. So if the accommodation is owned by the employer, then we should take 7.5% of salary. If the accommodation is owned. And his salary particulars are basic pay 1,50,000 per annum, DA 63,000 per annum, bonus 1.5 months salary basic, CCA 30,000 per annum, lunch allowance 1,500 per month. He is provided with rent-free accommodation which is hired by the company on a monthly rent of 3,500 per month. The accommodation is not owned by the employer, but the accommodation is hired by the employer. In that case, we are not concerned with the population. First line population is given, we are not concerned. When the accommodation is hired by the employer, least of the following two is the value of the perquisite. First one, rent paid by the employer. Second, 15% of salary. Whichever is least is the value of the perquisite. That's it. And fair rental value we don't require. The total cost of furniture provided 60,000. So this is the furniture owned by the employer. So 10% of 60,000, 6,000 rupees will add. Compute the value of rent-free accommodation. First of all, we'll decide the SSC is a non-government employee. The SSC is a non-government employee. The accommodation is hired by the company. So the value of the perquisite is least of the following two amounts. Hire charges paid by the company 3,500 per month into 12, 42,000. First of all, the accommodation is hired by the employer. So whatever hire charges paid by the company, that will take 3,500 per month. So 42,000. Secondly, 15% of salary. We don't have salary. We have to compute salary. So here I have taken salary. Basic pay 1,50,000 directly given in the problem per annum. Per annum 1,50,000. Bonus is given 1.5 month salary. So for 12 months it is 1,50,000. For 1 year, for 12 months it is 1,50,000. For 1.5 month how much? So 1,50,000 into 1.5 by 12. 18,750 is the salary for 1.5 month. 1.5 month salary 18,750. CCA fully taxable. Lunch allowance 1,500 per month into 12 fully taxable. The total salary comes to 2,16,750. 15% of salary. So 15% of 2,16,750 it comes to 32,530. So 32,513 is the 15% of salary. Here I have taken 15% of salary 32,530. Now whichever is least, that is the value of unfurnished accommodation. 42,000 or 32,513, whichever is least. 32,513 is least. So this is the value of rent-free unfurnished accommodation. Value of rent-free unfurnished accommodation. To this add 10% of cost of furniture provided. 10% of 60,000, 6,000. Take the total 38,513. This is the value of rent-free furnished accommodation. So totally 6 problems I have explained in this video regarding how to compute the value of rent-free accommodation for government employees and also for non-government employees. Inshallah, next problem will continue in the next video.